some limited beliefs or failures, I guess, I had. I mean, it took me 6 years to leave my 9 to 5. Again, after I 10x my goals, it took me we'll say about a year, because I think that was 2019 when I did that. 2019, actually, I remember calling Mike. I think I was having a mini panic attack. I was ready to leave my job after my first 2 facilities, and I think my passive cash flow was roughly $3,000 a month, and I was ready to leave my 9 to 5. I'm glad I hung on, and I only had to hang on another 8-ish months to get another 3 facilities. And again, that's when I started 10X and everything. We've talked about that a little bit. Yeah, talked about my mental breakdown. So every deal I've bought, I thought I was overpaying. I've ran my deals as I use the seller's financials and my expenses. And if I'm okay with how those numbers look, then I go after the deal. And then I hope that there's more to be made there. But yeah, I mean, my first deal was $60,000 into it between my down payment. I did some repairs on my own. I also had a bank loan for some repairs. I thought I was going to make $800 a month. At that point in time, I thought that was a good return. I think within a year, I was close to at least double that. I'm triple that now. It's crazy what storage can do. Another limited belief, I mean, I'm buying at my current deal, $58 a square foot in a town where the rental rates do not support that. So, there's ways you got to look at, how can I make this a deal? And I think I've done that the best I can. So, any questions, comments?
Let me just highlight that for you, man. That's critically important. And that's the cliche that I always say, which is, right, it's not, is this a deal? Because at $58 a square foot, if you've listened to anything Mike Wagner has ever said, and you ask that question, it ain't a deal, right? John's smart enough to listen to the other side of what I say, which is don't ask, is it a deal? Ask, what could make it a deal? Well, 0% interest, or 0% financing for 5 years, and that is probably not a deal for me, because I'm not local to it. I don't have the confidence in the Ohio market that John has. So it's a deal for him, and it may or may not be for me, but that doesn't matter. So I guess what I want to shine a light on this, because it's so easy to take what anybody says, what I say, what Ken says, what Brendan says, what John says, and pretend that that has to apply as gospel to our situation. It's valuable and it's insight, but you need to figure out what is your unique offering that's going to allow you to succeed. Does that make sense?
And you don't have to double your equity, right? I mean, I've talked to people where they're looking at a deal for $500,000 and it's worth $800,000 or $700,000. I'll take $200,000 in equity. I mean, that's significant. So the biggest thing is if it cash flows. It's got to cash flow. Any more questions?
I got one now.
Yeah.
On your 0% owner financing, where's the rest of that money coming from? Is it coming from a bank? Do you have any of your own money in it as well? And if it is coming from a bank, how are you getting around the issue of you not having any money in it if you don't?
Yeah, good question. First 2 deals I did seller financing were 10% down to the sellers. So I brought 10% down for those. My current deal, I'm not good with this. I'd have to look at the paperwork. Basically, I'm forming an LLC for the seller to invest in my company for the down payment. That's how the bank wants to see that. I don't know the inner workings of that, but that's the gist of it. Right. Yeah. So the bank is in first position. They've got to be in first position.
Do you have a cap rate that you tell them that they can buy them out at, or how do you?
I look at cap rates, but I don't live and die by them. This current one, I don't know what the current cap rate would be.
No, I mean for your buyouts. When you tell somebody that's investing in your deal, like how are you going to buy them out? How do you show them that?
So I'm the only investor so far in my deals. This current deal, the seller's technically investing in my LLC.
Is there equity, or do you buy them out at par, whatever you put in? Yeah.
Yeah, that par. Yeah. If I have equity in this deal, it's because I could package that with my other facilities in Ohio. That's where my risk tolerance is. If this was my first deal, there's no chance I'd do it. There's no chance. So hopefully in a year I can talk about how successful that deal is.